Hello, people. It's Tuesday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Moriah Afolabi Brown. Always, I have my co-hosts here. YK in the building. YK. And Alicia's in the building. You've been missing in action for 10 whole days.
Welcome back, David.
So let me go to YK.
I'm happy to be back.
Come on, and harass you. YK, this is your Pope's cape.
Pope YK.
It's because Theo said
Yeah, Pope.
I should greet the bishop for him. And I told Moriah, since then she has been calling me.
No, you need to stand up, YK. So they will understand why we're calling you a Pope.
Look at this.
Look at the cape. Are you not a Pope?
It's really stylish. I love it.
Somebody has already come in to take the design. Somebody likes it. Really nice.
Very
And you
nice.
look really nice in Ankara, as you said.
Thank you. Meanwhile, that money that
13 billion.
everybody is denying it. It's my own.
It's
no?
my own, no.
It's my own, I beg now. They should give me my money now.
Okay, take it to court.
You want to pull a Patience Jonathan that I will get my money back.
It's my money. Everybody is denying it. I own it.
Fela himself.
In
locked
fact,
it in that room.
I was the woman that was carrying
These
the
guys.
money there.
Like,
This guy.
like, you better don't say that. Yeah, this is looking for that woman like crazy. All right, let me jump to talk where.
At least if they will now say it's my own.
You can now settle out of court. Now
They
settle.
will settle the matter in court. I can prove that
Even
I
if
got
they
the
give me
money.
10% and take 90%.
Abi, I don't even need your money.
I don't need all.
Just part of it.
All right, let's move on.
Change
to-
my life.
Talk where, how you doing?
I'm very good.
I think your weight loss is really looking.
Yeah, it's working.
Yeah, you look like you're
trying.
firming up.
It's workout. I'm gymming. I was showing my muscle yesterday, and they were looking at me like, the way I carry weight, you think it's not today, but I'm on a journey towards most importantly fitness, because I don't see any difference in my weight, but I feel fit, you know. But yesterday I dressed up, and they were asking, why were you so dressed up? And I did a post that for me, Easter is very significant because I am a product of grace. I have enjoyed so much that if I feel like I'm just one special person that God just loves specially. I know every Christian feels that way, but Easter is really significant. And we mustn't just wish it away because we feel like, oh, it's Easter, we've done it for the past whatever, how long you've lived. Does not mean that it doesn't.
You're dressing up.
Well, you know social media now. Everybody else, they own your life. So I told them.
Why do you feel you didn't must respond?
But sometimes you should, because you want to correct something and stand by what you stand by. What I wanted to stand by was that I am proud of Easter because it is the major celebration for me, because I have enjoyed grace of God on my life.
You are busy in your pockets because I will not even.
It wasn't an abuse, it was a question.
I don't even respond. How you doing? Oh, Alicia's in the building.
I'm very well.
How's your trip?
Very well.
Hope no
I'm
harassment in
happy
the
to be
airport.
back.
Hope no harassment in the airport.
No.
Since you didn't go to the US, have you went to UK?
I did. But even if I go,
yellow.
yeah, I want to go back YK. This is my color.
Yellow.
Yes, this is my color.
no,
People are making
yeah.
me black. Yeah, this stress. Look at all the papers. I was just looking at it. I said, "Goodness me, I'm back to this stress again." It's too much headache, but I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to be back, and I thank my wonderful family that took care of me in the UK. They made sure I stayed healthy. I ate everything.
Yeah, I saw your
healthy.
food.
Yes.
It's good. Because most
You
of the
know,
time when we travel.
it's very easy for you to travel and you
Add.
You
Overeat.
no, you
Who did
eat
you stay
junk.
with?
My lovely, wonderful family.
Which family?
Let's we have a news mention. Unfortunately, we can't go further than that. The consultant pediatrician at the Lagos University Teaching Hospital, LUTH, has cautioned against the practice of using palm oil as an antidote for poison because there has been certain poisons whose effect actually become worse by using palm oil as an antidote. So please be careful. I know a lot of our mothers usually...
When I was younger, growing up in the north, there was a boy that took rat poison, this otapiapia. And immediately he was administered the palm oil and he threw up everything. And he survived. That's what I'm saying.
So on what basis is she
So,
making her own?
I feel we should research this
We need to-
further
yes.
and specify
The
those kind of poisons that you
Because
cannot
that
use
kind of poison, actually, what they did that there was first aid. So when they gave him, and by the time he got to the hospital, he was,
bad.
you know, when they checked him, they actually
let's
flushed
make it,
out.
Let's make it a hot topic. Let's get a
Yes.
doctor to tell us exactly, to help
Then
us break
if
down this.
poison
and-
is taken, what is the first aid measure
Okay,
to
all right.
take? Yes.
We'll look at that much later. But first, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll look at the front pages of the newspapers. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Yes, welcome back. We're going to start with The Punch. Seized 13 billion naira cash, which belongs to Waiki. Amechi demands 2 billion naira from Fani Kayode and Fayoshe's aid. I'm ready for legal battle, says minister. Sorry, with the minister, says Fani Kayode. Picture here of picnickers at the Elegushi beach in Lekki. Military men brutalized Lagos teacher to eject him. Ekiti extends maternity leave for civil servants. Easter tragedy, 7 killed, 19 injured in Lagos road crashes. Illegal postings, not ministry orders 15 NHIS officials to return payments. NNPC didn't remit $81 billion in 4 years, says Reps panel. Interesting stories here. Who has the human angle? The man that was brutalized.
Ah man, it was, you know, we always say that military personnel being used for personal fighting personal vendetta is wrong. Now this story is that a man who paid the owner of the landlady lives in Canada. This guy rented the house, paid for 5 months because the house was not in good condition. They didn't have a bathroom. They only had a toilet. So he paid for 5 months, and the idea was that by given time, we'll finish building and you can continue your payments. After the rent elapsed, he was told to pay a full year, but now pay into the sister's account. Calling the sister realized that the 5 months he had paid wasn't remitted to the sister, and the sister said, you must pay the entire money for the length of time you've been there. And since he said, I had paid to somebody, they used a lawyer to threaten him to evict him from the house. He's reported to Sabo police station. They said they had an undertaking that they wouldn't use that means again. Next thing, 2 military officials came to the house to evict him from that house, and they brutalized him, destroyed his property, beat him up, as in they had a picture of his face. He had red eye, you know. We need to, and I'm happy that he said immediately he left there, he went straight to the police station and reported them. So let's wait and see.
The way he even escaped was by telling them he was going to
get a taxi to pick up his
so that was how he now ran, slept outside, and then went to the police station
police
in the
brutality
morning.
is wrong.
This military
using it as
No, but I even want to say that when you're dealing with, for the people out there, when you're dealing with housing agents, because you need to be careful. A friend of mine, it happened to her. She paid for 3 years. This agent collected 3 years and only remitted 1 year. And half the money to the landlord. They always do that.
This one was
so it's always
sibling.
This is her brother.
Yeah.
You
All
know?
right, let's move on.
So we need to be careful.
Let's move on to The Nation. Osborne Towers, EFCC invites ex-governor, others. Who is who in the ministry cash controversy? Picture here of Magu, Amechi, Wiki, and Fani Kayode. We'll talk about them a bit later, I think, in Vanguard. But Sanusi ranks Northwest and Northeast most backward. Federal government discos clash over revenue accounts, and Ondo Monarchs abductors demand 5 million naira. Let's talk to you about Sanusi.
Let me talk about
yes, Emir.
Sanusi, yeah. He was inaugurating a healthcare facility that was named after him in Kano, and he was now urging a lot of northern leaders that most of these northern leaders, they have money, you know, that the southwest, the southeast, they are very, very, you know, backward in terms of healthcare. So
the northeast,
northeast and northwest, sorry, you know, so he's calling on all the rich northerners to come out, you know, and invest
in health and
education in the north. And I think it's an amazing, you know, call.
Sanusi has been speaking a lot, making a lot of sense too. I think people shouldn't focus on him and trying to dissect his character, but listen to what he's saying. It makes
focus on the message
sense.
and not the messenger.
Yes, it makes a lot of sense.
Right.
Education will change the future of the Northeast and Northwest.
All right, moving on very quickly to Vanguard. NIA didn't get Ikoyi cash from CBN, says Okoro, for that's from CBN. And Mandela begged Abacha on MKO, Obasanjo, and Ogoni 9, says Mbeki. IMF raises global economic growth forecast to 3.6%. TSA now over 7 trillion, says AGF Idris. Gunmen kill 13 in southern Kaduna as Governor El Rufai vows to hunt down killers. And Easter tragedy, 8 died in auto crashes, 26 injured.
So I like that
picture
CBN was replying my question yesterday.
The CBN and then the southern Kaduna killings. Yeah, the herdsmen went in there and they just shot sporadically, killing 13 of them. And the residents say there were no military people there, personnel there to protect them.
Who said that the police had let them down? None of them come to their rescue.
And the soldiers had let them down, that they just killed them.
Honestly,
and also on Easter Monday.
Sometimes I feel, Mariah, that a lot of our police officials, they are not really well equipped to handle, you know.
But this Southern Kaduna issue has been repetitive. Each time they keep...
See, first of all, you need to consider so many things. You see, if the system is broken down, you know, the onus doesn't lie on one particular body to solve the collective problem. You see, pension for these people, if they die, how is their family taken care of? So you see, I've seen a policeman when I was in school. The man ran away when armed robbers came with machinery guns. Their own gun is the one you will attack. Meanwhile, it is machine gun that the robbers were using. So how do you expect them to combat those kind of people?
I can't remember the police station somewhere in, I think it was in the north, where they were robbed. The police station.
They will remove their uniform and run away.
Policemen were ducking.
Yes.
It was when they had finally left that he woke up
so
and said...
a lot of people are speaking about the money, but let me just take the CBN angle on the money that people, you know, I asked on
we'll talk about
a question yesterday.
Let's take it in son. That's the NIA money.
But the CBN is saying now that we didn't release that fund to them. So that's like absolving them. So
he didn't say that, but I read the article. He didn't say that totally. He was just saying that, listen, they only released monies to banks, not to ministries. So it's almost impossible for them to say CBN gave it to the ministry. Either the banks then gave it to them, maybe that would happen, but they as CBN only remit money to the banks. So that absolves the CBN of saying that they gave them. But I wanted to talk about the accident that happened in Lagos. One in Joe Legba and one in Bagada. 6 people died. I think a bus driver veered off on the expressway, hitting a taxi, and a woman died almost instantly. Another one happened in Ojoelegba, the bus burnt.
It caught fire.
Caught fire.
That one caught fire.
Really, really sad.
I saw that video yesterday.
About 4 people or 5, I think 4 were burnt to death.
Yeah.
And they said 3 female, 1 male, no 5 and 1 child.
The others were rushed to the hospital. It's really, really sad.
Very sad. Terrible.
Okay, so Ikoyi Gate, we can focus on that.
Souls rest in peace.
Amen. Amen. Ikoyi Gate, more rumbles over Ikoyi Gate. Amechi demands 1.2 billion naira from Fayoshi and Fani Kayode. China pumps $100 billion to Africa. Fayoshi to Lai Mohammed. Federal government is protecting looters in government. Ethiopian Airlines land in Abuja today to open airport, and robbers go rampage on in Aba. Now,
before we go into the gate, let's just celebrate the Minister of Aviation, because he said, because he mentioned yesterday, we didn't mention it, he said he was going to open on time and he was going to meet his deadline, and he did. And we rarely have people do things like this, meet up to their word. So a round of applause to you. Did a good job.
So Ethiopian Airline is landing first in Abuja.
Because they're the only ones that stuck with us in the hard times.
Yes.
Then China pumping in money to Africa. You know, I'm excited about it.
Talk about this money now.
Wait, the money
the China thing is important because a lot of small businesses know that they have this money that all you need to know is request for the money, either as a company, individual, or as an organization. So
there are some that are interest-free loans. There are some that are, you know, very, very very low interest rate loans, which is good for
that's a lot
businesses.
of money. That's good. $5 billion. I mean, it's actually $100 billion in total whole of Africa. Okay, Ikoyi Gate. Let's spend about 1 minute on Ikoyi Gate. Who has that story?
I have another story.
There are many angles. No more.
Mariah.
Okay, the angles. For whatever reason, Amechi is not suing.
He said they don't.
Not suing Wike. Wike, who has been making a lot of noise. He's not saying about Wike. That's Wike. He's only suing
Femi
and the Fayoshi
brother,
who's been saying that that they are also.
No, but he's asking for an apology. That if they don't deliver an apology in 7 days.
No, he's asking for and asking for money.
Yes.
He's saying
one is 750 million naira from one and 500 million from the other. But my question is, Wike, who is really making the real noise?
No, not 750. Not 750 million. He's asking for 750 times 2.
Yes, that's
because that one did it on Twitter and Facebook.
Oh, yes, they mentioned his name. Wike said it is the state's money. Yes. Do you understand? Those two mentioned his name. Okay. And there's a proof that they mentioned. So did they have any proof before saying that he was the one that owns that money? So you don't just like, we've said that you must know what you're saying.
And Fani Kayode says he hasn't received any letter, that when he receives letter, he will now respond. And
Saraki is saying that yes, he's not managing this improperly very well. So the Ikoyi Gate continues. We don't know. We're now hearing that I heard the Sarada reporters yesterday that they're possibly there's an allegation that it's the wife of the DG of NIA.
Because he owns the place. They say she owns.
They say she owns alleged. So we don't know. There are different owners coming up.
Could it not be our own?
It is our money. Why?
Like, don't worry.
We are willing to give back 90% to the federal government.
Let us claim it.
They will arrest you. Let us take a break.
Let them come arrest you.
By tomorrow, we'll now find out that the owner lives in Japan. I mean, Gabon.
The stories keep changing.
Let's take a break now. When we come back, our hot topic today, AY. AY is distasteful jokes on rape. We didn't like it. We're going to discuss it. And later, recycling in Nigeria. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. Now, during the annual AY Live comedy show over the weekend, comedian and actor AY Makun gave his support for Kemen, who was disqualified from the Big Brother house following some controversy and allegations of sexual assault towards a fellow housemate, T-Boz. He went on to make jokes about the sex and urgency to which some men might require a release from their desires. According to him, women can side T-Boz, but no man should castigate Kemen because every man knows how Kongi can be. However, he got quite a lot. Is it Kongi or Konji?
Konji.
Oh, Konji, sorry. However, he got a lot of backlash for his insensitive comment and blamed him for failing to use his position in the Nigerian entertainment industry to educate Nigerians that rape or sexual harassment is an assault and shouldn't be tolerated or celebrated. Now, what are your thoughts on this? You can call us on 070-8066-8014. You can tweet to us also at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. We have another phone number now, because I know a lot of people, calling back. 070-987-31924. So if you can't reach on the first one, try the second number, all right? Ladies, so AY was having a great time joking yesterday about the issue that happened with Kemen and T-Boz in Big Brother. Now, a lot of people didn't find that funny because the truth is that it's almost normal in our society to think, oh, because a girl is in a compromising situation, it's okay to take advantage. So men around here just think it's okay. But for the backlash we had, it's obvious that things are changing. Perspective is changing. I think we need to address that. And that's one reason we're talking about it. What are your thoughts on it?
When I got the things, I went into the tweets, and there were a lot for him and there were a lot against. It was almost an equal, because I read both. I read the for and the against. But you see, I didn't watch Big Brother, so I didn't see it. So you guys will have to tell me what exactly happened. Yeah, did it really happen? Did you see it?
But in the house, he was making advances at her, and she kept saying no.
Well, what happened was they slept on the same bed together, and while sleeping, after a party, she was tipsy or drunk, but she was not conscious of what happened. She woke up the next day, and Big Brother, in her chat with Big Brother showed her a clip of what happened, and she was like, she had no idea. She said she felt violated, and based on that, Kemen was disqualified from that competition. And people said that there should be more done. Even social media, some people on social media were already saying that more should have been done to Kemen for doing that. You don't just disqualify and think you had solved the problem. This is an entitlement mindset that a lot of men in Nigeria have, because I have made advances at you. You have given me a sense of, you're giving me small body. You cannot say no at the end of the day. So much the case of the 5K bay, that a girl went out with you and you felt, how can you say no after you've eaten my food and all that? So there's a sense of entitlement that men have in thinking that if you've made advance towards you and you've given me a little inclination that you might be interested, you can't just turn around and say no at the point of sex. And that is why AY shouldn't have made a joke of this.
Because I didn't watch it. Had they been in compromising positions before that,
even if they were,
that's what I'm saying.
I have to establish it because I didn't watch it.
No, they haven't. But Kemen, I know, was certainly interested in her. He kept trying to make advances at her, and she was very vehement about saying that, you know what, I'm not interested. She said no. Yes,
she said no.
Yes.
How come they were sleeping on the same bed?
Thank you, YK. God bless you. Let me break down something. First of all, I am not in support of anybody trivializing or making a joke out of something that is called, anything called rape, right? But you see, sexual assault goes both ways. And it is always a mistake a lot of women make, that they think sexual assault is only towards them as a woman. She, if you had, because I didn't watch it, but from the feedback that I got, there was a build-up up until that night when she went to meet him on his bed. So I don't understand how
she went to his bed.
No.
Okay.
How did she go and meet him on the bed?
Whose bed were they sleeping on?
Whichever one.
You know, no, let me explain what I'm trying to say.
Maria, please.
You see, it is okay for we to say that, oh, don't make a joke out of this. But you see, even as women too, a man's ideology of a green light is different from a woman's ideology of a green light. Hold on. Because that romance was there. You can't just isolate it and say that he acted in isolation. He did not. Okay. She gave him a lot of...
There was no romance. There was no romance.
She
said no. He asked her out.
She
said no.
Like being seductive towards him.
Even if she did, does that give him a right?
It doesn't. I am not isolating what he did that he was wrong. But I'm saying that if you want to reprimand anybody, both parties should have been reprimanded.
No.
It is not just, no.
Okay.
You are acting, that is your own opinion. This is my opinion. And I think you should respect it.
Go ahead.
You know, if I know that I will not taste the coffee, I will not even smell it. Okay. You were coming close to the guy, and what do you expect? I'm not tolerating, no, Mariah, don't get me wrong. I'm not accepting what he did, that it was right. But she also played a role in it. It was not, he didn't do it like on his own.
Okay.
So, yes. What we're fighting for is that for any reason, even a prostitute who is confirmed to be a commercial sex worker can decide not to engage in intercourse, and she should be respected for saying no. Yeah. When a person of AY's caliber puts together a show that has thousands of people and using a platform that you can use to correct the ills of the society, makes a joke of Konji hold me. Do you know how many people have been raped by saying Konji hold me? Konji, I can say Konji hold me now, and I grab you and I rape you.
What's Konji?
Konji means that you cannot control yourself. You're in that mood, and then you say you lose your sense. That's what his joke was, that he lost. Men in that mood lose their sense. And you must not lose your sense.
Yes, you must still be responsible.
You mustn't lose your sense.
You and Konji must be responsible.
Yes.
Let me take this call. Are you there?
Yes,
Jude, are you there?
here.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Thank you so much. Now, I really appreciate you people's angle from the way you are saying it, but I watched this Big Brother show for quite some time, and I have a deeper insight to what you guys are actually discussing.
Yes, go ahead.
Now, the T-Boss has been allowing Keme to massage her nude. She'll go strip nude in the house and tell the guy to massage her several times. The guy is not just a walking corpse or something. He's a human being.
Thank you, my brother.
To do all this. Then both of you now, you had a private engagement, like a date in the house, which was set up by Big Brother. So it looked as if they set them up for the group. The guy, they even gave him a special haircut before the date, towards the night to that place. In fact, other guys were even jealous of that.
All right.
The lady has said no.
Whose bed were they sleeping on, please?
He even reminded me of something. Let me say something. Do you know that day, I think it was the day they did something and they put something soggy on her body, worms. She pulled off her bra and told him to rinse. You are please, Mariah, I beg. Don't joke with those kind of things. He has blood running through his veins.
Then he should get it done. Wait, what are you talking about?
I don't get it.
Can I say something? You have blood. Hold on.
You have control.
Can I say something?
Why? I cannot believe you are saying this.
I am saying it. Number two, that environment, the Big Brother environment, it is built for those kind of things to happen. Yes. It's not rape, but it is built for romance to build up.
We're not talking about it. We're not saying why life.
Can I talk? Okay, let me let YK come in.
Can I? Please, first of all, women should take responsibility for enticing. I'm not saying rape the woman, but sometimes we women, we like to just go and overdo.
I look very decent. A man can say I'm enticing.
I remember
a man can look at me now.
I told you about chicken peri peri.
That's a different thing.
What is
even like that?
Wait, we have to round up. Let me end with this. Even if she was romancing him, even if he rubbed her back, she was nude all through. You should not take advantage of a woman who is not conscious. At that moment, she was tipsy. She was sleeping on the bed. Wait for her to wake up. Wait for her to wake up, and then have the consensual sex.
That's why you're a man.
No,
a man has control.
Both of them.
That is why you're a man.
That
is why you're a man.
Unfortunately, we only have 10 minutes on this matter. We need to. I didn't think it was this hot, so we need to really make it another hot topic.
It's going to
Thursday. We'll make it hot topic. I'm on set.
Okay.
I'm on set too.
All right. Let's take a break. We have to switch over to recycling. I can't believe Uba said this. Honestly, I'm getting the chills. But let's take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about recycling, which is a major health issue in our country. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Honestly. Thanks for staying with us. So, uncollected waste product is a very big problem in developing regions of the world, especially in Africa. According to the World Bank Urban Development Series report, Africa currently produces just about 70 million tons of waste every year. With this rapid urbanization and growing economies, waste production in Africa will exceed 160 million tons by 2025. Joining us on the show is the MD Recyclers, Bilkis, Ms. Adebi Abiola. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Now, it's actually an environmental issue. I initially said it was a health issue, but it's an environmental issue that we need to deal with. But you can call us on 07080668014. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. Now, one of the reasons why we brought you here was because of recycling, helping us understand why we need to recycle and how things are being recycled. What are the items that need to be recycled in our nation? But let's start with why did you go into the business of recycling in the first place? Okay,
so WeCycle started about 4 years ago. I was a student at MIT Sloan, and I took a class called Development Ventures that focused on people that live in countries like Nigeria. So apparently Nigeria is considered, we have a lot of low-income people in Nigeria. I think about 70% of Nigerians live on less than $2 a day. One of the big issues that they have is uncollected waste. And in their communities, it leads to flooding, pollution, and, stagnant water causes malaria and other kinds of diseases. Sure. And one of the big things that we have to realize is that waste, when properly managed, is actually an advantage for us. There are different kinds of waste. There's the biodegradable waste and there's recyclable waste. So there's plastics, metals, paper. Recyclable waste, exactly. And so what we did was we have this system of collecting waste where we give people points. So for every kilogram of waste that people give to us, they get points that they can accumulate and exchange for household items, even money. And we've been working with Loma and Lagos State government. We're in Surulere, Ebute Metta.
Okay, I don't want to focus so much on your company because
but
the idea is to educate Nigerians out there
on waste,
on issues of waste. Now,
so the statistics are gory, and I want you to break it down. Nigeria is generating so much nylon. The pure water sachet. Most of our disposable bags are in nylon form. Exactly. How long does it take to break down?
Over 1,000 years. So if we'll die, our children will die, our children's children will die, and the waste will still be there if you don't do anything about it.
Plastic.
And the issue is that people in Nigeria, we're not aware of it. So we litter. We're used to littering. You drink something, you just throw it out of the window. It ends up in the gutter. The gutter will wash it into the ocean, and then the ocean, fish. There was this study that was done that they said if care is not taken by 2050, there will be more plastic than fish in the ocean.
Yeah.
And we eat the fish, and the fish has plastic in it.
Because I was actually watching in Kenya, they're really suffering from too much plastic in the ocean. And in England now, you can't buy, you have to buy nylon bags now. Exactly. They use paper bags and,
So are you
they're trying to control, they too are suffering from too much plastic.
Yes, I think, so for me, I think waste is actually a resource. If you look at, these European countries, they don't see waste as, it's a nuisance or it's an environmental issue. They actually look at how they can harness waste in their country. So they have systems where they have easy collection of waste. So we as Nigerians should have a way where everybody should know that they need to sort their waste.
So tell us, what are the items? Okay.
Yeah, that's the question I want to ask. And, is it possible for us to narrow it down to probably like, you know, smaller estates, maybe it would be more effective. If we say we bring the recycle bins, and we say, okay, this is for paper, this is for plastic and all that, in each smaller estate, I think it would be more effective. And how do you separate the items?
Exactly. So that's actually already been done in some estates. We've been, like I said, we've been working in some communities in Lagos. And, you know, there's different kinds of waste. There's the plastic bottles, there's the pure water sachets, there's cans, metals, all those kinds of waste. And what you just do is you separate your waste. So when you finish consuming your food, you sort the waste. You don't put it in the same bin as you would put your other food items and things like that. And then somebody would collect that waste and ensure that it gets recycled. And believe me, there's actually recycling companies in Nigeria. You know, when I tell people that, people are shocked that, you know, they're actually recycling companies. Yes, they are big, massive factories here in Nigeria that they need this waste, but they don't have enough. Because we, in our homes, we're not aware that we should be recycling.
How can, because ignorance is bliss. For Nigerians, we're all ignorant. We don't really know about all this recycling, because in my auntie's house in England, she will tell you, no, that's your plastic bottle is for this bin. You know, so they have been taught. How can we now ensure that we know what to do? Because we are generating a lot of waste.
You're right. And as I was going to say, when you said ignorance is bliss, I was going to say ignorance is actually dangerous for us in Nigeria. Because if we continue like this, it's going to be really, really bad.
Something as little as even your regular waste. Because, I mean, one of the things that really irks me out is when you go to people's houses and their bins are opened. And even the regular bin, because, I mean, I try to buy those yellow and black bins where I put in all my kitchen waste and tie it properly and put it in the big bin outside. But I see that even my neighbors will just pour it, you know, they'll just put it in the bag and pour it from the basket straight into the big bin. Now that, all the cats come at night, and it's really irritating. So it's even the little ways of just managing the regular waste, let alone the plastic waste. We don't even do that around here. So what kind of partnership are you doing with the Lagos State government? I know with Loma, but in a bigger scale. Is there are there any plans,
are there laws
generally, to help to make people actually force them to manage their waste?
No, because there are some places that if you do not separate your bins, they won't pick it up. You know, so is it possible that we bring those laws to say that if you don't separate your bins, we won't pick up the waste? The waste, yes.
So actually, on the bigger scale, Lagos State they have this Cleaner Lagos initiative. So they just created this law, environmental protection law for Lagos State. And one of the things that they're going to do is ensure that everybody all around Lagos gets proper waste collection. So there's going to be private investment into the waste sector to drive this. And there's also, we are recyclers in partnership with the Lagos State government. We have this Lagos is Recycling initiative. So it's a hashtag on social media. And we just tell people, look, you know, all your recyclable waste, take a picture of it and put the hashtag and we'll come and pick it up.
Can I just ask this question? What goes where? What are the things that need to be recycled? Is it, I know we know plastic. What about cans? What about, you know, there are all different kind of waste. Food is, okay, we know food cannot be, we just throw food away. So where do things go?
Let me give you, let me start with the cans. So cans gets recycled, it gets melted here in Nigeria, and it can be turned into anything. Cars, planes, then, you know, plastic bottles, the cover. It gets recycled in Nigeria and it's turned into chairs, buckets. Plastic bottles can be turned into clothes. Then you have paper. Yes, you have paper. Here in Lagos, gets turned into tissue paper. There's, so that you know that
your newspapers,
even just like your paper. They convert it into like tissue papers and like hankies. Then you have cardboard. You have tin. So all your tin, your sardine. So
how about working with offices? Can you put all these things you've mentioned, can you put them into one bin? No. Or they need to be in separate bins?
So for us, we try to make it easy for people. So we just say just one. So separate the food in one bin, and we'll take the rest.
And now sort it out.
And sort it out for you. But then if you want to get points, what we now do is that we tell you to separate it. So the plastic...
I like the part of the points. I want to make money now.
If you want to make money...
Tell me.
So you separate the plastic for us, you separate the sachet for us, you separate the paper. So for us, everything is separated because every different kind of waste has a value. So we'll take the plastic, we'll weigh it, and we'll give you points. We'll take the sachet, we'll weigh it, and you get points for it. But you know, you're not going to get rich overnight. So don't just think, oh, if you give me
points, is it points of money or just
points to accumulated to money later?
It can be turned into money. So you can even exchange it for, we can give you that.
So now if I collect those bins, where do I drop it?
So we'll come and we'll pick it up from you.
So just get your number and we'll post your number on our online. Okay, so for example, someone like me now, my entire street, I can tell that I can go to every house, say, you know, all your pure water sachets, so please, when you are done, don't put it, just put it back and bring to me. I tell my, or even in my estate, because in our estate we can do the same thing. Your various communities, please, all pure water sachets, bag it here, and then call your number to pick it up. Then the bottles will bag it, the newspapers will bag it, the Rice Krispies and the cartons we bag them. So those are the 4 things we have right now.
And the cans, don't forget cans.
The cans,
yes.
The cans.
So how are you guys working with eateries? A lot of eateries generate plastic bottles and cans. Also, a lot of offices generate paper waste. You know, these are easier to just grab
than household.
You know, than household.
I'll let you answer that right after. Oh, we have a few seconds. Go ahead.
Yeah, so we work with eateries. We actually work with Sweet Sensation now. So we pick from them, and we're looking to work with more of them. We work with some offices have signed up.
With the shrine, I beg.
Would love to. Would love to. Ah, yes.
I'll come ahead.
No, we even have a problem because the whole street, with the dustbin we have there, the whole street, they just come there and dump all their rubbish. So we have a very serious problem.
So why don't you get a sachet waste,
like a waste?
That's why I said we work together. So maybe they will help us. That's if they will even answer.
They will answer, don't worry. We'll teach them.
Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll take your calls and tweets on this subject. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So, recycling. We know it's really important to recycle, but it's difficult for people to actually do it because it's easier
Major change of lifestyle. Major change of lifestyle.
It's a major change of lifestyle. But do you have some tweets on this?
Yeah, somebody is asking, Hafsa said, my folks are into plastic recycling. Do you buy from those who grind the used plastics? He's thinking you're using...
Oh, the post?
Yes.
No.
Okay, so you are pre.
We are pre.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so now, what else would you like to tell us concerning recycling? Because I know a lot of people out there would like to participate. As you said, there are issues of tires. How can tires be used? Because we see lots of tires out there doing nothing. Tell us how tires can be reused, please.
So recycling is such a wide field. When I first started it 4 years ago, I was amazed at how rich and deep it is. So tires are actually very, very useful. You can actually grind them, and in some countries they turn them into. They use them in roads, paving the roads. Yes. So they mix it with the asphalt, and they use to pave the roads. It makes it stronger. Even plastic bottles, they crush it and they mix it with asphalt and make road coverings. Wow. So there's so many things.
And I've even said that
there are money loitering.
Yes, I've seen a place where they use tires like a recreation center.
Yes,
you will be blown away.
Beautiful.
Yes. It was so well done because tires cannot really they're not degradable.
If you don't recycle them.
If you don't recycle them. So
yes. Even there's a kids' beach garden in the Lekki area where the lady, she made a beautiful garden with tires and she painted it.
I wanted to ask something else. Within our country, we're looking for opportunities to make wealth, to make money. What's your organization doing to empower young, jobless people to see the opportunities in recycling? They don't want to pick the dirt. They don't want to do the dirty job. Maybe in the bigger scale of how can we creatively turn this waste into money? How are you teaching people to do that?
So to actually respond to your question about people that don't want to do the dirty job, I was going to say that we as Nigerians, we need to change our mindset. Yeah. Because everybody's like, oh, it's dirty. Yeah. I don't want them to, I'm not a Bola boy, I'm not a this. But there's money, whatever smells, that's where the money is. So we as Nigerians, we need to take that cap and look at, actually the humility or in, there's dignity in labor. Yeah. So we should embrace it. But in terms of, job creation, you're absolutely right. There's so many jobs that can be created from the waste sector. You look at, in the US, for instance, about 3.1 million jobs in waste management.
So how can people
in Nigeria, there's collection.
In Sweden, I learned that they recycle their waste and channel it to electricity.
They've actually run out of garbage in Sweden, so they import waste.
Let me take this call from Sam. I'll come back to you. Morning, are you there, Sam? Hello?
Hello.
Thanks for calling in, Anne.
Yes.
We can hear you. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. Hold on. I love the topic on the ground.
Turn off your TV or reduce the volume. We can't hear you properly. You're out. Yes.
I wanted to ask a question.
About the job creation. So there's so many things. There's collection, there's in the recycling space, there's processing, sorting. So we have this partnership that we are doing with a local bank here in Nigeria, where we have this franchise system, and we're helping to train people to learn how to collect waste, and then we'll set them up and they'll have a business in waste collection, and it's basically a franchise model.
I need your card.
So we're looking at how we can expand that and scale that up, and that's something that Lagos State government has actually supported us with, and we're looking at doing more of that.
What I was going to ask,
I'll come to you. John, are you there? Thanks for calling from Ikorodu.
Hello.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Please, I want to talk about the Big Brother issue, not the recycling.
We're going to make it a hot topic another day. It's pretty hot. I mean, online is going crazy. So, obviously, it's hot. So, we'll make it a hot topic sometime this week. All right? Sorry about that. Let's learn about recycling. Yes.
Recycling is the future.
Clothes. Used clothes. How do we collect those ones?
Is that
part of
recycle? I think most of the time, if the clothes are still okay, people can turn them into other things. Like bags and things like that.
They turn them to rags. They turn them to this. But
yeah,
but you don't accept them.
We don't do clothes.
All this Chinese hair, goat hair.
It's plastic.
It's plastic,
so
right?
It's all plastic.
Can be recycled.
So should we put in the recycling?
No, that one is
all this your hair. Should we put in the recycling bin?
I like in my head.
So we can do the hair thing, right?
So the hair actually, before they make the hair, they use plastic to make the hair. But when the hair has been made already, it's like you have
my
to,
second question. I'm fresh from school, and I want to go into the recycle business. All I need to do is come to your training.
Yes, you can apply.
Is the training free, or am I going to pay?
It's free. It's ongoing. It's done periodically, so you can apply online.
So how often? Like what months?
Maybe once a year. We do once a year. We just did one around September last year, so they can look out on our social media.
Okay.
You apply, and then we'll train.
So you teach me how to become a proper waste collector
as
an entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur. Waste
entrepreneurial waste collector. People out there need this information.
Yes, they do.
They're looking for business opportunities. And people are doing different things. So this is a good one. Thank you very much for coming on the show.
Can I read this tweet? It says, can the governor recycle old yellow buses, pay the owners and build new buses?
Yes.
They crush it.
Yeah,
we will only then import
crushing parts abroad where they crush cars.
Yes, we have that now.
Nigeria.
They crush the cars. Yeah, flats.
Fantastic. And
then Ramon asks, can the biodegradable waste food be processed into fertilizer in effluent control plants?
So I think they were doing that. Loma was doing that. They had a compost plant. They also had in Ketu, there was a fruit market. So their spoiled fruit, they used it to power their street lights at some point. Yes.
We didn't ask about glass because this guy says, please, I have used wine bottles.
Yes, and plastic bottles.
We
collect glass.
Bottles, glass. Yes. So that's another separate.
YK, you are in money. I'm just envying you right now.
Well, there's money there.
The money will pay the staff.
I'm not even thinking about the money. I'm thinking about protecting
the environment.
So you're doing
it's not about money right now for me. Yeah. I'm not saying I will not. I may not, because my staff will cheat me now.
But the money, please. The money is not. There's not big money.
That's what I'm saying. It's not about money.
But it's thank you very much. I think whenever you're going to do some kind of a workshop, let us know. Okay, so we'll tell our viewers to come because it's important. It's a new business and it's big business abroad, and I think it's an opportunity we can actually explore in Nigeria. So well done. We have to rush our way.
It's not just about business. It's about protecting the
future.
Protecting our future. Before about business.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, that's all we can take on the show. And this T-Boss and Kemen matter. Today is what? Tuesday?
Yeah.
So Thursday we already have part 2 of last week. So we're not sure. We'll talk to our producer and see when we can talk about it because it's obviously very hot. Twitter is going crazy on this matter. So we'll see how we can talk about it, right? Have a lovely day. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.